Well guys, as it stands, I'm no fan of the Aussie government, ministers or anyone in power down under. In fact, it's gotta be said they make Boris Johnson look good with how mad these idiots have gone. Some state premiers over there are giving Kim Jong-un a run for his money, when it comes to acting like a despotic tosspot. On top of that, more are currently implicated in corruption scandals with one premier already out the door over it. As many of you know, it's a complete nightmare over there, but credit should be given where credit is due. I say that because some MPs, ministers and others over there have slapped down the British High Commissioner recently. They did this because it seems she's a sanctimonious bore banging on about the green agenda and interfering in domestic policy decisions. Now, given what this article states, if I was an Aussie, I would actually be using other words to describe what she's doing here. Sanctimonious bore is certainly not it. I mean, they have names for foreign state agents interfering in the sovereign national affairs of another country, don't they? Or should we say they used to at least? Our High Commissioner here didn't seem to care about anything like that because she had to push the green agenda through, essentially telling the Aussies what to do in their own country despite no one there or even here ever electing her. She apparently did this in a TV interview, which to me is massively overstepping the mark even more than just saying it, to be honest. Some in the Aussie government also think the same as the Telegraph states here. Australian government sources hit out at Vicky Treadell, who has been the most senior diplomatic representative to the country since 2019. She is understood to have angered Australian ministers by setting a public carbon reduction target for the nation in an interview with its special broadcasting service last week. In the interview, Ms Treadell urged Australia to slash its carbon emissions by 40 to 50% below 2005 levels and said the coalition's target of 26 to 28% was inadequate. No movement would not be acceptable. We would find that disappointing, she said. The global benchmark is that the majority of people are going for somewhere between 40 to 50%, so ideally that is what we would like to see. Which I have to say, just wow, no movement would not be acceptable. Who the bloody hell does she think she is? That is pretty incredible, considering she's got no right to implement that here in the UK, let alone anywhere else. Now, as expected, Australia's carbon emissions are beyond piss poor, sitting at 1.16%, so just above the UK's 1% of the global total last I checked. And of course, all of this is completely shat all over by the simple fact that China produced 29% of global emissions, USA 14%, India 7.1% and Russia with 4.6%. So not only do the figures shit all over Boris Johnson here, but China is doing it from a great height every single day, essentially making COP26 more pointless than it even was before. As some might know, it's being reported at the moment that China won't be attending their little eco shindig in Scotland, meaning the biggest polluter on the planet is not playing ball. I've got to say, what a complete and utter clusterfuck this is for Boris Johnson and his puppet masters. Your High Commissioner in Australia is being called out for being a bit of a busybody while China sticks its middle finger up to your green agenda. Obviously, I'm no fan of the Chinese government, it actually goes without saying, but watching Boris and his puppet masters fail at anything is always good in my book. The fact that China ain't playing ball and in fact are opening more power plants today and coal ones at that, Boris Johnson's looking like a bit of a tit. Like I said, this is always good in my book. But when the public finally catch on to the shitstorm that this agenda's gonna bring, we must always remember what puppets caused it so we can remind those unaware of this shit who put them in the position they'll find themselves in.